Holy sh**. Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. So where have I been for 11 days? Well, I got extremely ill. I for sure know that I got the flu in bed for 7 days straight, could not get up. So I'm still here, no worries. And the UFO strangeness has continued. And today's video is extremely special because I have something to reveal to you guys that I had known about for many years now and never thought that I would be lucky enough or chosen to receive one. But we'll get to that here in a second. So this first clip I wanted to show you guys, along with other very mysterious UFO footage in this video, is a clip of something posted to TikTok, I believe, and we hear this young female's voice talking about this, what appears to be a crashed flying saucer halfway dug into the snow. It was translated from Russian, so I'm guessing this is somewhere in Russia or one of the Russian states. It was very interesting. Obviously, if this were some sort of downed alien flying saucer, I would think that it would have already been recovered by then. Maybe not, but I thought it was cool. There seems to be graffiti on it, and when reading the comments, people were making your typical funny jokes at what is such a cool video, and not really knowing what this mysterious object was. Many people saying, that's crazy, but I don't think it's real though. Some are saying that it's a tactical drone of some sort. One jokingly said, what if this is actually real and you all are making jokes? One poster said that it is a quad from an aircraft. A lot of money sitting right there. So, it's something. It looks to have sort of like a turbine engine or, something similar to what you would see on a conventional turbine airplane part. It does look to have some graffiti or writing on it, but anyway, it was super cool, and I don't know if it's a monument, a statue, something that fell from a plane. You guys tell me what you think down below. Nonetheless, really cool piece of footage, just fascinating, especially as it relates to this topic. And, the flying saucer is a huge topic of today's video. This thing, whatever it is in this Russian area, it looks very similar to what is called the sport model. Now, if you guys remember back in late 2017, maybe it was 2018, but I was the very first person to exclusively interview Bob Lazar after he had not done an interview in over 20 years. And so that interview is still up on the channel, and that was right when he was coming out with the new film, which I flew out to Los Angeles. I met Bob in person, snapped pictures, hung out with him after the showing at the theater in Los Angeles. And one of the main UFOs, one of the main alien craft that he witnessed at Area 51 at the Papoose Dry Lake Bed in Nevada was a flying saucer that he dubbed, or said that they had called, the sport model. And that is what you're seeing a depiction of here. It was said to be a traditional metallic flying saucer with some portholes or windows circling around it at the top, and basically just your traditional metal disc, one of the OG original UFOs that were seen back in the early days. And this sport model was the one that Bob said he saw there at Area 51 in a hangar, and that they were trying to back engineer, albeit unsuccessfully. And so I'm sure many of you know Joe Rogan. Now, Bob Lazar, after doing the first exclusive here on Secureteam, I think it was about a year later, Lazar then went on the Joe Rogan podcast and spoke about the film and just everything regarding the history of what he'd seen, what he'd claimed to see. But the point is, the guy was a rocket scientist. He worked at S4, he worked at Area 51, he knew the layout, he had keys to the building. There is countless video footage of him walking and accessing all parts of these secretive buildings and test areas, and evidence of the government attempting to erase him, as if he had never worked there and that they had no idea who he was. But he indeed worked there, that is for sure. And so if you have followed Joe Rogan over the years, whether you're a fan of his or not, I am, because I'm a UFC fan, and I love Joe's commentary. I know he's been through some things lately, but, way before any of this happened, I would watch Joe Rogan's podcast, and I would always notice us this really awesome flying saucer UFO desk lamp where you can see the thing sitting right in the middle of his desk. At one point, he even talks about the designer who created it for him, and I remember always saying, man, I wish I knew where to get that. I wish I knew the designer, but hey, it'll never happen. Well, guys, it just so happens that when I recently, just a few months back, created my Secureteam Instagram page, and I've met a lot of really cool people and viewers, and one of those people who I got into contact with was none other than the creator and designer that from scratch, and he makes all of them from scratch, but who made the lamp for Rogan. And he also made one for Bob Lazar. He 3D prints the bases of these from scratch. He builds the saucer, the lamp, everything from scratch. And so one thing led to another. I've been hinting at a package coming, and well, a couple of days earlier in the week, I received my very own Secureteam personalized UFO lamp, created by none other than the exact same designer of Rogan's and Lazar's. His name is Perry, and he goes on Instagram and other social media by the username Designs by Perry. And I'm going to put a link to his Instagram down below, which is where I met him. Apparently, he was a fan of my stuff for years. You know, he knew about Secureteam. After Lazar came out and did his first interview on Secureteam, you know, he created this lamp and based it around the sport model alien craft that Bob had worked on. And so I was just blown away opening this and knowing that I got to join the club. And Perry created this from scratch. He 3D prints the base here. And on the base, engraved on each of the sides and the edges of the base, one of the sides says Area 51, Site 4. One of the sides says Papoose Dry Lake Bed, Nevada, which is where it's said that these craft are being hidden and tested. The third side says Bob Lazar Sport Model, and the back side finally engraved with the Joe Rogan Experience. And so he 3D prints these things and he paints in all of the different texture of the desert here and the mountains. And as he was designing this for me, he created two different versions of this sport model saucer. One of them was with the original lighting that Joe Rogan's had, where the top of the flying saucer really didn't let out as much light as the bottom. And he also created a second, more damaged version that has way many more burn and scuff marks and dents in it, as if it has taken on a lot more damage while flying through space for thousands of years and crashing. And he asked me to pick from either, and I just couldn't. And so I ended up getting both of them. So as you've been watching in this unboxing phase, I just couldn't do without both saucers. You know, one of them is less damaged, that only, like I said, glows more out of the bottom, whereas the more severely damaged one, he added a coat of resin that basically it causes the entire bottom and top to brightly glow, as you are seeing here. And one of the last things that Designs by Perry did for me, which he said that he has never done for any other person before when creating one of these lamps, is he actually hand painted the Secureteam alien head logo at the corner of the base here, painting underneath it Secureteam 10, Designs by Perry, and he also signed the bottom of the desk lamp base with his signature and his regards to the channel. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. It's an amazing icon. Like I said, whether you like Joe Rogan or not, whether you're a fan of Bob Lazar or not, a cool UFO lamp is a cool-ass UFO lamp. I don't care what you say, and I am just so thankful to Perry for doing this. You know, he doesn't make a lot of them. You know, you can, I know he sells them on eBay, sometimes unpainted, because the pieces and the parts are very hard to come by these days, and he builds and paints them from scratch. And so, you know, if you guys would like to show him some love, I know he would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. He's over at Instagram. I'll put his link down below. You know, show him some love. Maybe he'll make you or commission you one of these lamps, but bottom line is to Perry, I want to say thank you, bud. It has been a dream of mine for years, ever since seeing this lamp on Rogan's desk, that I could maybe one day have one, and not just one that's a replica, but one that was made by the exact same designer, and my dream has come true, so it means a lot. So thank you. Hope you guys like it. I've been playing with this thing for days now, you know, just driving my wife crazy, switching the two saucers back and forth onto the lamp and messing with the colors and the remote, and it's just a really cool thing. I've set it on top of my printer here right next to my PC desktop tower, and it's just an amazing gift, an amazing icon from an amazing iconic artist, and amazing stuff. So designs by Perry, thank you, buddy. It means a lot. So with that, guys, how about we get to some UFO footage? All right, I'll stop gushing over this UFO lamp, but hey, this is Secure Team. I run it. I love it. It means a lot to me, and I wanted to share it with you guys because you've been riding with me for years now. So now to some strangeness happening both on the planet and off. If you remember a few videos back, I posted some footage of a mysterious glowing triangle sitting above the skies over Russia, and we all know what's happening there, and I jokingly said that if there were ever a time for an alien species to intervene, it would be now. And so I posted that eerie footage of that triangle, and it seems that there may be more UFO activity that has been captured in the skies over Ukraine. So first we're going to go over to UFO Reddit, where a newscast had posted a clip of two different UFO sightings that occurred above the Ukrainian territory within the last 2 weeks while everything's been hitting the fan. The first of which was this bright glowing light that seemed to just sit in the sky without moving at all. This thing sits there forever, and I've seen many rocket launches, and this just doesn't look like one. This white blob, just sitting there glowing in the sky and glowing up the smoky sky around it, just sat there for what some said a half an hour, others said hours, half of the night. It's just this strange, purely fluorescent white light, where at one point it almost looks like we can see a circular object moving through it. And I'll try to slow it down here, but it looks almost like a spherical object can be seen sort of slowly moving through the white light. Now, a second piece of footage also captured in a separate newscast, where we see Ukrainians here playing their musical instruments, playing the anthem, being patriotic in these tough, trying times, where in the background and in the distance, these strange white orbs seem to appear, circled here in red. And at first, it appears to be just one light, but then soon after becomes two. And here are some enhanced versions, inverted and contrast enhanced versions of these two mystery orbs that seem to appear right above the city center of Odessa, Ukraine. So yeah, guys, tell me what you think, despite which side you're on. In my last video, while showing President Zelensky of Ukraine, I said this guy is a gangster. Well, I meant that in a good way, as in brave, as in I think that no matter what side you're on, anytime a small country takes on this sort of, David and Goliath mammoth superpower, I think that's pretty gangster, meaning cool, and that's what I meant. So, I don't like to get too political, so, is this evidence of alien intervention over Ukraine? We at the very minimum know that aliens are watching us. There's an endless amount of evidence just on my channel, over 400 hours. If you were to watch my very first YouTube video on this channel to today, and you were to binge watch them from first to last, it would take between 400 and 500 hours. And that's covering not just UFO footage, but also where I have covered nearly almost every single UFO incident, both major and unknown by many people. I've covered it all on this channel. So, I get emails from people all the time sending me footage or asking me to talk about a certain UFO incident, and why haven't I ever done a video on it? It's because I have already done a video on it. So if you're new to the channel, start from the beginning all the way through to today. I promise there is nothing that I have not covered or made a video about on this channel. Now here I want to show you a piece of footage yet again, just like in my previous video, of more UFO activity occurring around our sun. Now, you remember my last video, I showed you the footage taken from the satellites out in space of yet another of the countless UFOs that have appeared and continue to appear around our sun, and that one in that video was in the form of this giant multi-Earth-sized rectangle. You're seeing shots of that here, and it appeared like it was almost coming halfway out of the sun, and what I didn't notice in that video, and a lot of people pointed out, was if you look at the rectangle, it looks like it's half of an alien face inside of the rectangle, where you have the dark eye, dark nose and mouth at the bottom, and the chin and the outline of half of an alien gray face. And yeah, that was very weird to me. I didn't see it in editing, so real weird. Well, I have a new one for you guys today, this time in the size of probably the Earth, at least one Earth mass, this time in the form of a giant cigar that was captured very quickly moving past the sun, because again, the sun is not filmed second by second. It's time-lapse footage, so it's extremely sped up. So even though this UFO only appears in a single frame, it could have hovered above the sun for many, many minutes or even hours. And so here you are seeing this cigar-shaped object. I love the word cigar, or cylindrical. I've done countless videos on cigar-shaped craft being captured above Earth, around the sun, out in the Orion Nebula, way out in our galaxy. I mean, cigars seem to be, besides triangles and discs, cigars seem to be another one of the major UFOs seen by most people. And so you're seeing the UFO circled here, you're seeing different shots, and it, again, it has light and shadow to it. Regardless, it's still another strange mystery object, way too close to the sun for comfort. It looks to have light and shadow like a three-dimensional, very long cylinder. But anyway, tell me what you guys think. I'm all about monitoring UFO activity both on and off this planet. Lastly, for you guys today, and you may have seen this, again, I'm still playing catch up here, but this is some of the creepiest, ominous looking footage of a big, dark mass or object that was captured on a woman's dash cam sitting up in the evening skies above Houston, Texas. And so this was posted, I believe it was to a Facebook group that has now been set to private, maybe because of all of the attention this footage, inadvertently received, and she was just tired of being questioned about it. But as you guys are watching, they're driving down the freeway here, captured by someone named Miriam Bauzo. Maybe one of you guys can tell me exactly what highway or freeway this is, and if you saw it. But as you guys are watching, and I'll show you some slowed down as well as some color filtered versions here. Yeah, this thing is very strange. It doesn't look like any of the other clouds out there, that's for sure. And it really does look like an object, sitting up in the nighttime skies. If I had to call it any kind of shape, it would be, I guess, sort of kind of triangular. But as I watched this, I noticed that it looked a lot, or at least similar, to the images of the infamous Black Knight satellite, which I've done many videos about here on Secureteam. For those of you who don't know, in a nutshell, the Black Knight satellite is said to be an alien satellite or object that has been orbiting planet Earth out in space for potentially tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years. It was detected back in the 1930s or 40s, but because the object seemed to change its velocity and direction at will, it was eventually lost, and still said to be up there today. And in the mid and early 2000s, these photographs of this alleged alien satellite were said to have been captured from a space shuttle mission. And whether this is the actual Black Knight satellite in those photos, which there has been much discussion over. So, that's the first thing that came to mind when I saw this. But back to the footage, amazing stuff captured, again, March 1st above Houston, Texas. Anybody have any information on this, be sure to send me an email. If you have your own UFO footage, upload them to YouTube. Very simple. Just create an account, upload the video, and then email me the YouTube link to SecureteamNews@gmail.com and simply put UFO footage or UFO video as the subject of the email, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. I have over 190,000 emails in that particular account, so, I have no doubt there's some amazing unboxing footage in there I have not got to yet, but I am trying. And likewise, all of my other contact links, my P.O. Box address is down below if you want to ship me something, some new channel art of the new logo, or simply a letter, anything. I love receiving stuff from you guys, and I love featuring it here on the channel. Check out the video description. Thanks to all of you guys who are supporting me, whether it be through Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month, you get behind the scenes access, early access to content, as well as all of the new members who joined through YouTube, where you'll notice there is a blue join button under all of my videos and on my channel, where you can also join as a member there for a flat fee per month, where you get preference in the comments, you get extra special discounts on merch from SecureteamTees.com, you get special badges next to your name showing that you're a member. To all of you guys supporting, you know, whether you want behind the scenes content or not, it helps this channel out as YouTube's algorithm continues hiding my videos, which is reflected by the views just being cut in half since they updated and changed the algorithm. And so your support is paramount in keeping this channel going. So if you just like to support because I put out free UFO content, then it's, you know, it's much appreciated, as it has been for almost 10 years now. I really appreciate and love you guys. So tell me what you think. A lot of strange stuff, more to come. Tyler is not going anywhere. I'm back, so stay tuned, stay safe, and I'll see you guys back in just a bit.